Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight from the heart. In life, you will be disrespected. Somebody gonna test you, talk down to you, look past you. It could be at work, in a relationship, even in your own family. You could be minding your business, trying to be better, and out of nowhere, boom! Disrespect walks in with dirty shoes and tries to sit on your couch. When someone disrespects you, your first instinct might be to snap back. That fire rises up in your chest, your heart beats faster, and before you know it, you're ready to say something you might regret. That's the reaction. It's raw, emotional, and fast. It comes from a place of pride, pain, and that deep part of you that just doesn't want to be played. And hey, that's human. But here's the thing. Just because it's natural doesn't mean it's smart. See, reacting is easy. Anybody can do it. But responding, now that takes strength. That takes self-control. That means pausing, breathing, and asking yourself, what outcome do I really want here? Because once you respond with intention instead of emotion, you flip the script. You stay in control of the situation and of yourself. Picture this. Someone tries you in front of a crowd. Says something slick, maybe tries to embarrass you. If you react, you match their energy. You sink to their level. You letting them write the narrative. But if you respond, you might not say anything at all. You might just look them dead in the eye and smile. Like, you done? That silence, that calmness, it speaks louder than yelling ever could. Think about it like this. When someone throws a match at you, you can either throw gasoline or water. Gasoline is your reaction. It makes the fire explode. Water is your response. It puts it out calmly, completely. The one who stays calm always has the power, because while they're losing control, you're still steering the ship. It's not about letting people walk over you. Not at all. It's about choosing how you fight. It's about knowing that not every situation deserves your energy. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. And sometimes it's just a calm statement that leaves the other person sitting in their own mess. Responding is about playing the long game. Reactions are for the moment, but responses are for the future. People remember how you handled heat. They watch how you carry yourself under pressure. And the way you manage disrespect tells the world how much respect you have for yourself. You don't have to clap back to keep your dignity. You don't need to raise your voice to make your point. True strength isn't in how loud you can be. It's in how still you can be while everything around you tries to shake you. And let's be real. Some folks want that reaction. They need it. It gives them power. So when you don't give it to them, when you stay cool, collected, and unbothered, that's the real win. That's how you protect your peace, your reputation, and your pride. So next time someone tries you, take a breath. Don't let your emotions run the show. You are not their puppet. You are the author of your own behavior. Respond like someone who knows their worth, because when you stop reacting, you start winning every single time. Knowing your worth isn't just about confidence. It's about foundation. It's about walking into every room like you belong there, not because someone told you so, but because deep down, you already know it. When you truly understand your value, disrespect can't touch you the same way. It might knock on your door, but it won't get a seat at your table. See, the problem is too many people are out here letting the world tell them who they are. They're waiting for validation, applause, or approval, thinking that someone else's opinion somehow determines their value. But here's the truth. Your worth is not up for debate. It's not based on someone's inability to see it. It's not based on how they treat you, speak to you, or whether they recognize your light. You're not a clearance item waiting for someone to take you off the shelf. You're the full price, limited edition, one-of-a-kind piece. And if someone doesn't see that, that's their blindness, not your absence of value. When you know your worth, you won't chase whether it's people, jobs, opportunities, or apologies. You stand. You attract what aligns with your value and let go of what doesn't. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop proving yourself to people who've already made up their mind. You start choosing yourself in rooms where others overlook you. And the moment you do that, everything changes. You see, people treat you how you treat you. If you carry yourself like you're second place, guess what? They'll believe it. But if you walk like you got purpose, speak like you got power, and move like you matter, the world has no choice but to take notice. Because self-worth is magnetic. It draws respect without having to demand it. Think of it like this. If someone offered you a crumpled up $100 bill, would you take it? Of course you would. Why? Because even crumpled, stepped on, or dirty, it's still worth $100. Life might wrinkle you up. People might try to step on you with their words or actions, but your value doesn't change, not one bit. When you know your worth, disrespect doesn't derail you, it exposes them. You stop internalizing it. You stop shrinking yourself to fit someone else's comfort zone. You realize that walking away doesn't make you weak. It shows you value your peace more than proving a point. And here's the part most people miss. Knowing your worth isn't loud. It doesn't need to be. It's not in your words. It's in your choices. It's in who you allow into your space. It's in what you tolerate, what you entertain, and what you no longer excuse. It's in the quiet confidence of knowing I deserve more than this, and I'm not afraid to let it go if it doesn't serve me. So many people settle because they don't believe they deserve better. But when you know your worth, settling feels like betrayal. Not to them, to yourself. You stop accepting half-hearted love, shady friendships, low-ball offers, and being anyone's afterthought. Because someone who knows their value would rather be alone than disrespected. They'd rather wait than beg. They'd rather keep walking than stay stuck where they're not seen. So whether you're in a boardroom, a relationship, a friendship, or just out here chasing your dreams, remember your worth isn't negotiable. It's not something you find in the eyes of others. It's something you remember every time you look in the mirror. You're already enough, already valuable, already worthy. You don't need anyone to tell you. You just need to believe it, live it, and walk in it every single day. Setting boundaries isn't about building walls. It's about building doors. It's not about keeping everyone out. It's about being intentional about who you let in and how far they're allowed to go. Because when you don't set boundaries, you invite disrespect. You send a silent message that says this is okay. Even when it's not, people will treat you the way you allow them to. That's just facts. And if you let someone constantly overstep, take advantage, speak to you sideways, or drain your energy, they'll keep doing it, not because they're evil, but because you didn't make it clear that there's a line they shouldn't cross. Boundaries are how you protect your peace, your time, your energy, your mental health, and yes, your self-respect. A lot of people struggle with boundaries because they confuse them with being mean. But being kind and being clear are not opposites. You can be compassionate and still say, that doesn't work for me. You can love someone and still say, I need space. You can show up for people without letting them walk all over you. See, when you don't have boundaries, people will start to expect things from you that you never agreed to. They'll think you're always available, always saying yes, always fixing their mess because you always have. But at some point, you have to realize that being overly available doesn't make you more valuable. It makes you more used. And let's be real, the people who get mad when you set boundaries, they're the ones who are benefiting from you having none. They like the version of you that kept quiet, that overextended, that made them comfortable. But your growth, your healing, your peace, it might make some folks uncomfortable. And that's okay. You don't owe everyone access to you. You don't owe everyone your time, your energy, or your explanation. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is no, without guilt, without overthinking, without trying to soften it. Because a no to them is a yes to you. It's a yes to your rest, a yes to your values, a yes to your personal freedom. Setting boundaries also helps you see who's really for you. The people who care about you will respect your boundaries. They may not always understand them right away, but they'll honor them because they honor you. But the ones who disappear or throw shade the moment you say, I can't do that, let them go. You're not here to please everyone. You're here to protect what matters to you. And boundaries aren't just for people, they're for everything. Social media, work, your phone, your schedule. Not every call needs an answer. Not every email needs a reply at midnight. Not every request deserves your immediate yes. When you start treating your time and energy like they matter, other people will start to do the same. Let me tell you this, boundaries are a form of self-love. They're how you teach the world, this is how I deserve to be treated. And the best part, once you start setting them, you gain something priceless. Peace. That kind of peace where you're no longer stretched too thin, no longer resentful, no longer pretending you're okay with things that eat away at you. You don't need to be loud about it. You don't need to announce it on a billboard. You just need to live it consistently. Speak up when something feels off. Pull back when your spirit feels drained. Walk away when your worth isn't being seen. That's not selfish. That's smart. That's healthy. That's powerful. Boundaries don't push the right people away. They protect the right you. And when you show up fully for yourself, without guilt, without fear, and without compromise, you give others permission to do the same. And that's when real respect begins. There are people out there who wake up every morning looking for a storm to pull you into. Drama is their language. Chaos is their comfort zone. They thrive on mess, conflict, stirring the pot, and their goal is simple: to get a reaction out of you, because your reaction gives them power. Your response gives them relevance. Your attention gives them a platform. But here's what you need to understand. You don't have to play. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Just because someone throws shade doesn't mean you have to stand in it. Just because they start something doesn't mean you have to finish it. Protecting your peace will sometimes look like ignoring nonsense that's begging for a spotlight. See, drama only lives where it's fed. When you stop feeding it, it starves. When you stop responding to every insult, every backhanded comment, every attempt to pull you out of character, they lose. And the real win, you get to keep your dignity, your energy, and your focus. It's tempting, no doubt, when someone talks slick, spreads rumors, or tries to make you look small. You want to set the record straight. You want to clap back, match their energy, remind them who they're dealing with. But let me ask you something. What does that actually get you? A temporary sense of satisfaction? Maybe. But usually it just pulls you into a space that's beneath you, a space where your values, your goals, and your peace don't exist. Not everything deserves your energy. Not everyone is worth your explanation. Some people don't want resolution. They want reaction. They don't want understanding. They want attention. And the moment you realize that, you free yourself. You take back your time, your mental space, and your emotional balance. Let them talk. Let them twist the story. Let them be loud. Because while they're out there making noise, you're busy building. You're growing. You're healing, you're evolving, and that quiet progress, that silence while you rise, that hits different. That's the kind of response they can't compete with. There's a certain strength in choosing peace over pride. There's power in walking away, not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to know the battle isn't worth your spirit. You're not proving anything by diving into drama. If anything, you lose a piece of yourself every time you engage with someone who doesn't even deserve access to you in the first place. And let's be clear, walking away isn't the same as being passive. It's being selective. It's deciding my mental health matters more than your chaos. My joy matters more than your gossip. My purpose matters more than your pettiness. That's not running away, that's running forward towards something better. People will always try to test your patience, your character, your peace. But the real test is, can you stay calm in a storm? Can you stay focused when they're trying to distract you? Can you keep building while they keep barking? Don't fall for it. Don't let them pull you down just because they don't know how to rise up. Their drama isn't yours. Their issues aren't yours to fix. Their bad energy isn't yours to carry. You've got places to go, things to build, and peace to protect. So next time someone tries to drag you into the mud, just smile, dust off your shoulders, and keep walking. Let them drown in their own mess. You've got better things to do. When someone disrespects you, your pride immediately wants to jump into action. You feel that sting, that tightening in your chest, that fire in your gut, and everything in you is screaming, say something, do something, let them know they got the wrong one. That's the urge to escalate. It's human. It feels like justice. But here's the thing. Escalation might feel good in the moment, but elevation feels better in the long run. See, anybody can clap back. Anybody can yell, insult, fight, throw shade. That doesn't take strength, it takes impulse. But when you elevate instead of escalate, you rise above it. You choose maturity over mess, purpose over pride, and peace over pettiness. And that's next level power, because escalating a situation often gives it more energy than it deserves. You turn a small slight into a full-blown war. You pour fuel on a fire that should have burned out on its own. You end up wasting time and emotions proving a point to people who never deserved your presence in the first place. Elevation is about keeping your eyes on something higher. When someone tries to drag you down, it's usually because they are already beneath you. They see your light and they want to dim it. They see your calm and they want to disrupt it. But when you elevate, you don't come down to meet them. You make them reach up to get on your level. And most won't even try, because elevation exposes who's not ready for the climb. Choosing to elevate isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's knowing that everything doesn't need your response. Every insult doesn't deserve your voice. Every challenge doesn't require your participation. You've got goals, you've got peace. You've got a future that doesn't include messy moments with people who don't matter. Think about the times you got pulled into something petty. How did you feel afterward? Probably drained, maybe even embarrassed, definitely distracted. But think about the times you didn't engage, when you stayed quiet, held your head high, and kept walking forward. That felt like power, didn't it? That's what elevation feels like. It's not always flashy, but it's solid. It's not about looking strong, it's about being strong. And let's talk about the long term. When you escalate, you create enemies. You burn bridges. You invite more drama. But when you elevate, you build your reputation. People start to see you as someone who moves with intention, with grace, with vision. You become someone worth respecting, not because you bark louder, but because you didn't have to. Sometimes silence is the most powerful statement. Sometimes growth is the most devastating clapback. Sometimes being too busy working on yourself is the perfect way to let people know they no longer affect you. You don't have to win arguments to win in life. You don't have to check everybody who crosses a line. You don't have to match their energy, especially when their energy is low, bitter, and stuck. You can choose to rise. You can choose to keep moving. You can choose to live in such a way that your success becomes the loudest thing you say, because when you elevate, you stop wasting energy on things that don't serve you. You stop giving attention to people who don't matter. You stop shrinking to fight small battles, and instead you use your time to grow, to evolve, to become the kind of person who doesn't need to prove a thing because your life already does. So the next time someone tries to bring you into chaos, remember this. You don't have to throw dirt to stand tall. Let them stay down there. You've got higher places to be. There's a strength in silence that many people don't understand. It's often seen as weakness, avoidance, or being passive, but in reality, silence is one of the most powerful tools you have. In a world where everyone is shouting for attention, sometimes saying nothing at all speaks volume. When someone tries to provoke you, belittle you, or drag you into drama, silence can be your fiercest weapon. We live in a society that's obsessed with talking. People feel the need to fill every silence with words, opinions, and arguments. But silence isn't empty. It's full of meaning. It gives you space to think, to assess, and to choose your next move with intention. You don't have to react to every insult. You don't have to clap back every time someone tries to test you. Silence is not about saying nothing because you have nothing to say. It's about saying nothing because you don't need to. When you choose silence, you maintain control. In a heated moment when your emotions are running high and you're ready to snap, silence allows you to pause. It gives you that crucial second to step back, take a breath, and make a decision that aligns with your values, not your impulses. The person trying to bait you into a fight or a verbal sparring match expects you to react. They expect you to get angry, to raise your voice, to step into their chaos. But when you stay silent, you leave them nowhere to go. They've thrown their stones and you've chosen not to engage in a pointless battle. The power of silence is especially evident when someone is trying to get a rise out of you. They want you to show emotion. They want you to prove that they've hit a nerve, but when you remain composed, it sends a message that their words don't affect you. That's the power of silence. It neutralizes their attempts to provoke you and it turns their energy back on them. They may start to feel foolish for trying to get a response from someone who is unbothered. Silence doesn't mean you're afraid or weak. It means you in control. It means you've reached a level of maturity where you know that responding to every slight is a waste of your time and energy. When you don't feel the need to speak up every time, it shows that you're secure in who you are. You don't need validation from others, and you don't need to argue to prove a point. You are confident in your silence because it's not about what others think or say. It's about how you carry yourself. There's also a deeper level of silence, one that's reflective. In silence, you have the space to understand the situation fully. You can assess the person who's disrespected you or the situation that's trying to pull you in. When you remain silent, you allow yourself the time to reflect on how you want to respond, if at all. It's about choosing your battles wisely and understanding that not everything deserves your attention. You learn to ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this person worth my words? And when you find that the answer is no, you stay silent and you keep moving forward. And here's the thing about silence. It's often louder than any words you could say. When someone disrespects you or attacks you and you choose not to react, your silence sends a message that is stronger than any verbal comeback could ever be. Your silence says, I don't need to stoop to your level. It says, I'm above this. And that's the ultimate power, your ability to stay composed while the chaos around you tries to pull you in. Silence also protects your peace. Engaging in every argument, every confrontation, or every moment of drama will eventually wear you down, but silence keeps your energy intact. It allows you to stay grounded in yourself while others around you are losing their cool. It helps you preserve your mental clarity and your emotional balance. By choosing to remain silent in the face of negativity, you're actively choosing peace over conflict. You're choosing serenity over stress. You're choosing to protect your well-being over proving a point. Another powerful aspect of silence is that it gives you the upper hand. When you don't give a response, you hold the power in that moment. The person who's trying to provoke you has to keep pushing. They have to keep searching for a reaction. And in doing so, they expose themselves more than they expose you. They show their desperation, their need for attention, their inability to control their own emotions. Meanwhile, you're just standing there unfazed, unbothered, and at peace. In relationships, silence can also be a tool for setting boundaries. There are moments when saying nothing is the most powerful way to show someone that their behavior isn't acceptable. You don't have to explain why you're upset, and you don't have to engage in an argument just to make your point. Sometimes stepping back and giving someone the silence they're not expecting can be the wake-up call they need. It's a way of saying, I won't engage in disrespect. If you want to be in my life, you need to treat me with respect. And finally, silence teaches you self-discipline. It's not easy to hold your tongue when your emotions are screaming for release. But by choosing silence, you build the muscle of self-control. You stop letting your emotions dictate your actions. You become more deliberate in how you react to situations, and you develop a deeper sense of inner strength. In a world that's loud and chaotic, silence is the antidote. It's the space where clarity grows, where peace is found, and where power is maintained. The ability to remain silent in the face of disrespect or provocation is one of the most powerful tools you can wield. It doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to choose peace over pride, wisdom over impulsiveness, and control over chaos. Silence doesn't need to be explained. It speaks for itself. When someone disrespects you, it can feel personal. It can hit hard, especially if it comes from someone you care about, someone you've trusted, or someone you've allowed into your space. But here's a truth that can change the way you handle disrespect. The way people treat you is a direct reflection of them, not you. Their actions, their words, their behavior, none of it defines your worth. It defines their character. Think about it for a second. If someone disrespects you, it says more about their lack of self-control, their inability to communicate with kindness, or their failure to respect boundaries than it says about who you are. People who act out of anger, jealousy, bitterness, or insecurity project those feelings onto others. They're expressing their own emotional turmoil, not your inadequacy. When someone lashes out or disrespects you, they're showing you their internal world, a world that is fractured, unhealed, or simply toxic. It's not about you. It's about their inability to handle their emotions or the situation in a healthy way. This perspective is powerful because it takes the weight off your shoulders. If you take disrespect personally, you carry the burden of their poor choices, their lack of respect, and their inability to handle their own issues. But when you realize that their disrespect reflects their inner struggles, their insecurities, and their personal demons, you can free yourself from the need to internalize their behavior. You stop allowing their actions to diminish your sense of self-worth. After all, why would you allow someone else's brokenness to impact how you see yourself? People who are content, who have peace within themselves, and who have a strong sense of self-respect don't go around disrespecting others. They don't lash out unnecessarily. They don't use their words as weapons. Respect is the natural byproduct of being secure in who you are. So when someone chooses to disrespect you, it's because they haven't mastered their own peace. They may be dealing with unresolved issues, pain, or fears that have nothing to do with you. The reality is when people project negativity onto you, it's not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of their own emotional or psychological state. Think about the last time someone disrespected you. What was their demeanor like? Were they angry, frustrated, or in a bad place themselves? More often than not, when people are rude or dismissive, it's because they're operating from a space of hurt or insecurity. They lash out because it's easier than confronting their own issues. They tear others down in an attempt to elevate themselves, even if it's only momentary. It's like a bully who kicks down the person they perceive as weaker, not because that person is weak, but because the bully is struggling with their own sense of worth. But when you understand that their disrespect reflects them, not you, it becomes easier to respond with grace rather than defensiveness. You realize that their actions don't define who you are, and you don't need to justify yourself to them. You don't need to prove your value. Their inability to show respect has nothing to do with your worth. It's a projection of their lack of emotional maturity, their unresolved pain, or their personal battles. This understanding allows you to detach from the situation emotionally. Instead of feeling wounded or angry, you can feel empathy. You can recognize that the disrespect isn't about you, but about them struggling to manage their emotions, their fears, or their own issue. That realization softens the sting of their words or actions. You stop reacting with anger or frustration because you realize that their behavior is a reflection of something they need to work on, not something that you need to absorb or carry. Let's also consider that sometimes people will try to provoke you. They'll test your boundaries, trying to see how much they can get away with. And when they disrespect you, they're hoping to elicit a reaction. They want to see you break. They want to make you feel small, or they want to win some kind of power struggle. But when you don't respond with defensiveness or frustration, you take away their power. You show them that their words don't have the effect they were hoping for. You demonstrate that their attempts to provoke you are futile because you don't let their issues define how you feel or respond. By recognizing that disrespect is a reflection of the other person's internal struggles, you gain a sense of emotional freedom. You stop taking it personally, and you stop giving others the power to hurt you. This shift in perspective doesn't mean that you tolerate disrespect or allow it to continue unchallenged. It simply means that you no longer allow it to affect your inner peace or sense of self. You handle it with the understanding that their behavior is about them, not you. You take the higher road, rise above their negativity, and maintain your dignity. People who respect themselves don't go around hurting others. They're not looking to tear others down to build themselves up. And the best part, by refusing to let someone else's disrespect define you, you set an example of how to navigate life with grace and emotional intelligence. You show others that they can't control you or dictate how you feel. You also show yourself that you are stronger than their words and actions. Ultimately, learning to see disrespect for what it truly is, a reflection of the other person's issues, not a reflection of your worth, is liberating. It takes away the power of their words and actions. You stop giving them the ability to make you feel less than you are. You stop letting them impact your self-esteem. You stop internalizing their negativity. And instead, you maintain your confidence, your peace, and your respect for yourself. Their behavior is a mirror to their soul, and your response is a testament to your strength. Respect isn't something that's automatically given to you because you exist. It's something that starts with you. It's a mindset. It's a choice. The way you treat yourself sets the tone for how others treat you. If you don't respect your own time, your own boundaries, your own worth, don't expect others to do it. Respect begins within, and it's reflected in how you carry yourself, how you speak to yourself, and how you protect your peace. If you want others to honor you, you have to first show them how. The relationship you have with yourself is the foundation for all other relationships. When you respect yourself, you automatically send out a message to the world that says, this is who I am and this is how I deserve to be treated. Your actions, your decisions, and your voice should align with the value you place on yourself. People will only respect you as much as you respect yourself. If you allow others to treat you poorly, they'll think it's okay to do so. But if you stand firm in your worth and show up as the best version of yourself, you're teaching others that they should do the same. Self-respect is about recognizing your own value. It's about knowing that you have something unique to offer and that you deserve to be treated with kindness, dignity, and consideration. This doesn't mean being arrogant or acting like you're better than anyone else. It means being aware of your own worth without needing constant validation. When you respect yourself, you don't seek approval from others to confirm your value. You don't settle for less than you deserve, whether in friendships, relationships, or work situations. You know your boundaries and you stand by them. You don't let anyone make you feel small, and you don't allow anyone to cross lines that you've set. But self-respect isn't just about standing up for yourself in the face of disrespect. It's about how you speak to yourself when no one else is around. If you constantly criticize yourself, belittle your accomplishments, or allow negative self-talk to dictate your actions, you're teaching yourself that you aren't worthy of respect. You cannot demand respect from others while disrespecting yourself. The way you think about yourself is the lens through which the world will view you. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough, others will pick up on that energy and treat you accordingly. But when you speak to yourself with kindness, when you acknowledge your strengths, when you celebrate your growth, you train your mind to operate from a place of self-worth. And from that place, others will begin to see the respect you give yourself. It's about treating your body, your mind, and your spirit with the care they deserve. Self-respect is reflected in the choices you make every day. Do you nourish your body with food that fuels you, or do you treat it as an afterthought? Do you protect your mental health by setting boundaries, or do you allow stress and negativity to pile up? Do you prioritize your emotional well-being, or do you allow toxic people and situations to drain you? The way you care for yourself shows others how you expect to be treated. If you're not willing to honor your own needs, no one else will. One of the most powerful things you can do is set boundaries. People who respect themselves know their limits and communicate them clearly. Boundaries aren't walls. They're ways to protect your time, your energy, and your peace. When you respect yourself, you don't allow others to overstep. You don't let people make unreasonable demands on you. You don't let toxic relationships take more than you're willing to give. Boundaries show the world that you value your time and your energy, and that you won't allow anyone to treat you in a way that's harmful or disrespectful. Self-respect also means not settling for less than what you deserve. You don't stay in situations where you feel undervalued, disrespected, or overlooked. If you find yourself constantly giving without receiving, always putting others first and neglecting your own needs, it's time to reevaluate. Respecting yourself means knowing when to walk away from situations or relationships that don't serve you. It means having the courage to let go of what doesn't align with your values, even when it's hard or uncomfortable. The more you honor yourself by making decisions that align with your worth, the more the world will reflect that respect back to you. When you respect yourself, you stop tolerating things that don't reflect the person you are. You stop accepting disrespect, manipulation, or mistreatment. You stop letting people take advantage of your kindness. You stop putting others' needs ahead of your own to the point of burnout. You start saying no without guilt. You start asking for what you need and deserve. You start showing up for yourself the way you would for someone you deeply care about, because that's exactly who you are. Ultimately, self-respect is an ongoing practice. It's a daily commitment to yourself. It's the way you show up in your own life, whether anyone is watching or not. It's choosing to honor your truth, your needs, and your boundaries, no matter the external circumstances. It's being kind to yourself even when you fall short, learning from your mistakes and growing in the process. It's about showing up for yourself, day in and day out, with the same love, understanding, and care that you would offer a close friend. The more you respect yourself, the more you show the world how to treat you. The more you honor your own worth, the more others will follow suit. Respect starts with you. It's a practice, a mindset, and a way of being. And once you embody it, once you truly respect yourself from the inside out, the world will have no choice but to reflect that back to you. In the end, remember that respect isn't something you have to beg for or chase. It starts with you, and it's something you can create every single day through your thoughts, actions, and boundaries. When you respect yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. And when you stand firm in your worth, you teach others to do the same. You don't have to prove your value. Your life, your choices, and your ability to honor yourself already do that. So hold your head high, stand in your power, and let your self-respect shine, because when you respect yourself, the world will have no choice but to follow suit.